Ah, so it's finally happened. You received your first data request from a regulator. Now, maybe you received that data request because it was part of a statewide audit of multiple companies, or with respect to a particular new rulemaking and they want to collect data. Or maybe, unfortunately, it's because you've received repeated complaints about a particular aspect of your marketing or your billing, and they want to get data from you to see whether or not there's violations and what that fine is going to be. In either case, it's very important to respond quickly, timely, and fully with your regulator. The long game should be that you need to earn the trust of the regulator and to be responsive to their requests and not be too clever. So one of the things I have found in my past experience that gets companies into trouble is that they get this request and it gets put aside and it doesn't get logged and people forget about responding to it, or it gets jammed up and people aren't getting the information, or they don't know who to ask for the information. And there's just a big kerfuffle here. And many times either it's a late filing or an incomplete filing, which is really not the way you want to go with a regulator. Bad move. So although it may seem obvious, the most important thing you can do when you get one of these data requests is to quickly log it and organize a team to respond to it in full. Now, I've done the usual responses using, the email and the Excel spreadsheet and the PowerPoints in various ways to try to organize a team. I just haven't been satisfied. It's not a great way to share data in a workspace to be able to get information that you need and to respond completely and hold accountability to everyone who's supposed to provide you the information. Because it could be a request that involves many sectors of the company, not just the regulatory or legal department, but basically the various aspects of the marketing, operations, sales, market, supply, whatever. So the way I would do it is I would use a cloud-based software that allows you to organize this information. And I've tried various options. The one I like the most is something called Airtable. For one thing, unless you ask for some extra features, it's basically free. You can create as many tables or databases as you want. And what you can do is you create this framework where you take each of the questions from the data requests and log them in as a separate record. And then for each record or request, you can assign people, and you have fields where you can actually put in attachments, maybe a JPEG or a recording or a PDF that shows, for example, training materials. And so you can collect all that information collectively in one workspace that everyone can access. And you can put in, of course, a field that has a deadline, which is really handy so that, the people who have been assigned it know what the deadline is. And if they don't meet it, we know who to go look for. And it allows both the person tasked with leading the compilation of these data requests, as well as perhaps even outside counsel and your management, to also be able to log on and look at this database and see how progress is making, if there's any hiccups in terms of getting information, or whether there's a serious issue that's been discovered and how they might want to handle it. So I have created a template for handling data requests of this type from the regulators. And in another video, I'll explore step by step how that template works. And I would encourage you to use this for each and every data request. It's going to demonstrate a level of competency and organization that makes sure that you reply completely, fully, and timely. And so I think it'll be very helpful to you It maybe seems simple, but it's invaluable when in terms of the importance of how these data requests have to be treated. So I hope this is helpful, and you see my other video where I walk through a step-by-step demo of the tool, and look for my other videos on other tips and tricks for managing your retail energy provider startup business. Thank you.